What's up, folks? I'm gonna do me a little river trip. So I got my boat packed. I'm down here at Bobcat Landing, right outside of Bamberg. Normally I'd put in Springfield Bridge, but I didn't feel like jumping all them logs. So I come on down here hoping that I could get down past the logs. But I'm gonna go on down at least to Colleton State Park. I might stay the night there. I might stay the night on the riverbank. The river's a little high, so I don't know if there'll be any river bankage for me to stay on. If not, like I said, Colleton's got a good state park right there, and there is some availability, so I might wind up doing that. We'll see what brings along for us. So I got everything ready in the boat, everything packed up. I think we'll be all right. Get that done. Now I just got to get the old girl put in and get parked in a way that Beth and them will be able to get my truck and come get me at the other ramp. And they can't back up very well, so I might have to back it into a parking spot, but check it out. So one of the things I do, because I have an older truck and the parking brake isn't that great, I always try to throw a rock behind it when I back in, and it's a manual transmission. I also throw it in first and shut the whole motherfucking thing off. About to jump in here, get the boat off, probably pull it up right there. That is rocks, that'll be all right. There's a little sand down there too. Pull it up right there, park the truck. Got the truck parked right there, got it locked up. Hopefully nobody messes with the old girl. Bait's loaded down. It's a little off kilter, but it'll even out when I sit my fat butt right there in that seat. But yeah, packed to the brim, all kinds of extra gas, putting the gas tank in the back if I need it. I have no idea how far my 3.5 gallon gas tank will actually take me, so that's why I brought like an extra 10 gallons, or really more like 11 or 12 gallons. But yeah, we'll see. I'm got some fishing rods and stuff, so my goal is to do a little bit of fishing. Hopefully do like a catch, clean, and cook right here on the riverbank in one of the areas that I decide to stop. But with the water being so high, I don't know if the fishing's going to be any good. But getting ready to shove off. All right, got the motor warming up here. I'll show you. So the Bobcat boat landing, it's a fairly nice one compared to most of them I've been to. Got a little camping area and everything. But we're getting ready to shove off. See how far we can make it up and down this river. Basically down. I might go down and come all the way back up to the truck instead of getting somebody to come get me. Or I might just stay down there and make them come get me. But I wanted to show you the camping area right here at Bobcat, how nice it is, and then I'm gonna be heading on down. Somebody's got a tent set up over there. I did not see a car for it, but you can't ever tell people down here though. Sometimes they get dropped off. They might have a canoe around here or something. Pretty cool little area. No pay camping, just roughing it right here on the riverbank. Like I said, this is upstream. We're not going upstream. We're going downstream. So I'll turn this old girl around and we're gonna get on the road. Don't look like anybody's in there. I ain't checking though. Rules of the road. Well, I had to pull over and take me a little morning stop after eating some McDonald's this morning, but we're about halfway between Bobcat and Cannon Bridge Landing. It's going pretty smooth. Had some tight spots in a couple places, but I hadn't had to get out and pull over or anything. I did jump one log, but it wasn't out the water. It was just barely cresting underneath the water. Water is high. That's probably helping me here. Not have to jump over and pull over stuff, because I feel like if the water was a little bit lower, might have a more of a jumping and pulling through issue. But I'm starting here, like I said, on the South Edisto River. That's where I live. I live near the Springfield Bridge, about 5 minutes up from it. When I was 18 and graduated high school, my daddy and I paddled from the Springfield Bridge all the way to Edisto Beach. My grandpa said he had made that trip many times in the Johnboat, and I've never made it in the Johnboat. So part of me wanting to make it in the Johnboat is because he's done it. But I figured intermediately, I need to do some of the easier stretches in the Johnboat, get used to Johnboat camping before I try to do that big trek from Springfield. Because around the Springfield area, you have a lot of log jumps between Springfield, Hogpen Landing, and that kind of area. And I might even wind up having to put like a winch on the front of the boat and bringing a chainsaw if I was to do that particular area. It took us a week to paddle it in kayaks, summer of 2008. Water was very low, and that was probably part of it. I've heard people say that they've done it and done it quicker. I call bullshit. Took us a week. But You get down here in the more open sections, like I said, this is below, this is Bamberg and below. Running's not bad. You're not gonna be able to run it full out, but I mean, making a pretty good little clip here. So figured I'd give you another update, talk a little bit. I'm gonna show you some river footage. That's what I'm talking about. If you hear my motor bunching and crunching, it's them submerged logs eating them up. That's why you can't run it too heavy and fast. You can see all the junk in the front of the boat too, weighs me down a little bit. Just take it nice and easy most of the time though. Trying to enjoy a little bit of the scenery. The river definitely changes at different stages. It goes from swampy to a little more open, and like I said, some areas it's winding and it splits into several different channels, and you just got to pick one and hope for the best. And in some areas it looks like a creek, and then like I said, other areas it's wide and flat. Down around Givens it really flattens out, almost turns lake-like for a little while before it makes its turn back down to the ocean. So it's a very scenic river, more so than what the Savannah and everything is. A lot of people do Savannah river trips. This one's much more scenic, much more enjoyable. Don't see too many houses on this river, but there are some. So I've passed some very nice ones here in the last little bit. I just wanted to show you kind of what I was looking at here. Like I said, it's fairly broad here. Springfield is much narrower than this. So like I said, I'm just putting on down. I ain't in no hurry. Got all day and really nowhere to get to. I get to where I get to. I am going to do some fishing at some point. I've seen some pretty good looking spots, but it's so flooded that I hadn't really made a choice to fish yet. I don't usually do too good when the water's high. I'm more of a low water fisherman. It concentrates the fish. Nice so far today. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. It's going to get hot. And when it gets hot, I'm probably going to pull over and hide underneath some of these trees or whatever, maybe do some fishing. But it's better than farming, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm supposed to be out there hoeing tomato plants right now, picking squash and zucchini and cucumbers and maybe some tomatoes and watermelons like I've been doing all summer. I think I deserve a break. Finally hit a snag. So it's been cut. Now the water's not high enough to really traverse it, and you know that stupid limb right there that kicked me off the side. I might could go under it. Maybe. Definitely maybe. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do here, but I'm gonna get over it. So I can either pull my boat on through, or I could back out and try to sneak under it. Kind of fat, and that's a tight fit. Let me check the other side. So if I go under it, then I'm gonna have to immediately be available to push around that log as well. But I do think the under it is gonna be the smartest move because the boat's really heavy, and that one limb right there, unless it'll move, then I might can never it through here. All right, so like we got under the first one, almost. I just got to get it kind of pushed out this way, and we'll be good. Right now I'm a little cramped, and it was honestly way harder getting off of that initial stuck right there than I thought it would be. We're gonna make it. Slow and steady, don't do nothing stupid. And just like that, we made it through there. Right it through that little hole right there. Whew, hope we don't have too many more of those. It usually isn't that bad the further you get down, but you will have a snafu here and there. But I mean, if you're looking at it, the river looks like that all the way down for the most part, but most of the time you have what I call a sneak through. You got the whole tree down, but you got a little sneak through right here on the end. so that you can sneak through and not have to jump nothing or mangle nothing or do anything overly sketchy. Just slow and easy. That's the safest way to do it down here on the river. Slow and easy. So, just wanted to show y'all what it looked like to try to make it through one of them log jams. Like I said, pray for me. Hopefully we won't have too many more of those. River split back there, but I'm gonna take this route. It looks more better. Still got some more little snafus, but like I said, got some sneaker rounds on them, so I'll check back with y'all in a little bit, y'all. So I have made it to the Cannon Bridge and the Cannon boat ramp. So figured I'd give it a little show. It's not a huge ramp. It has a little bit of parking though. Got you a little place to pull your boat so you don't have to park it right on the ramp. That's kind of nice. Typical boat ramp for the Edisto though. I mean, nothing special about it. So according to my map, I've been like 6 river miles. This, like I said, this is Cannon Bridge, or whatever they call it, Brabham Landing here on the Edisto. Not too bad, but I'm not hanging around here too long. I'll hop back in the boat, keep making some miles. It's been about, I don't know, I think I started a little after 8 and it's 10 o'clock now, so I guess that's about 3 miles an hour. Not setting any water speed records here, but we're going to continue down. My goal is to make it to the main Edisto and ideally down to Colleton State Park today. So, but if you're in the area, Brabham Landing, Cannon Bridge Road, whatever you want to call it, nice little boat ramp to put in down here at Edisto. So the next boat ramp I think is Zigzag Landing. That is on the main Edisto River. I think that's like somewhere like 17, 18 miles further on down. And then before we get there, we'll come to the confluence of the North and South Edisto Rivers. And I'm definitely going to bring y'all back and show you that. That's a pretty cool spot. My memory serves me correct, in 2008, there was an off-grid house placed between the 2 rivers that had like a water wheel and solar panels and everything. So I'd be interested to see if that's still there, if they've done any improvements since the last time I saw it in 2008. Anyways, I'm gonna continue puttering down. I assume the river here, from my recollection, it gets a little bit wider and wider the further you go down. But I think it gets a little tight right there at the confluence. I'm not really sure why I'm remembering it that way. I could be wrong. But gonna be a good little trek on down to the next boat ramp. So, and I've got to figure out how to get through that. So I'm gonna work it through right here, and then after I get through it, I'm gonna let y'all go. But I can't put my phone down right now because I gotta. All right, we made it. Nothing really big to it, just kind of a hairpin turn. It's easier when I had the balance with my hand. So, continue bringing you along. So, I'm hot, I'm tired. It's 11:47, stuck on a log. This jam's been one of the worst ones I've been on. Not because of the technicality of it, just because of the fact that I didn't see the log that I'm stuck on till it's too late. And I had to hop, skip, and jump around this big motherfricker right here. Sorry, I'm fogging up because my camera had to go in the cooler because it got too hot. And like I said, I snuck under it, got around the big jam right there, but didn't know there was a log here till it's too late. I had to duck and then hit the power on it to get it kind of through. Been woggling it back and forth, trying to skip it on off of here. Stood on the log and pushed it and everything. It's gonna go on this next push. It was on the middle where the coolers were at, and I had to move the coolers up top, try to teeter balance it to the front. You'd think, as many houses as I've seen, these people, they got Johnboats, every single one of them, that they would keep their river a little bit cleaner where they're at. Cut a few of these out, make it runnable. I mean, I get it if it was way up river or way down river, but I mean, like there's a house right there. Like, this is within sight of the house. If it was within sight of my house, I would have this thing cut out so I could get up and down the dang river. And then a couple bends back, there's another house. You'd think that they'd want to be able to run up and down the river easy. They might cut a few branches out just to make it passable. I'm not saying easy, but definitely easier than this. But it could be worse. Trust me, it's much worse up around where we live in Springfield. It's clear kind of around the ramps and stuff, but you get too far gone, it gets kind of rough. But taking a little break here. Let me check my map, see where I'm at. Looks like I hadn't really gone too far. Probably a couple miles down from that last boat ramp. And quite a few miles until the river confluence. It's not bad. Most of it's been easily runnable, but like I said, these right here will stop you for 20, sometimes 30 minutes trying to get through them, wearing you out. So I can tell you this, if I find a nice sandy beach, I'm gonna go take a swim and cool off. But I ain't seen one of those. I've seen one, but it was a little too close to somebody's yard and people be getting mad and stuff. But figured I'd give you an update. It's not all peaches and roses. We've had some really tight squeezes. I say we, it's just me. I've had some really tight squeezes in a couple places. If I hadn't have brought my old school machete here, I'd have still been stuck in a couple areas because I've had to cut my way through a place or two. But I'm gonna make it, y'all. Keep updating you, especially when I get to this next bridge. You want to see the meanest thing on the river? The thing that grown men are scared of, and I'm not talking about an alligator or a snake. I'm talking about that right there. Them big old red wasps. And that's a big nest. And I come flying through that hole right there, heading straight for that sumbitch. If it wouldn't have been for the dang ground being a little sandy there and me getting hung up, it could have been a bad day. Well, I hadn't stopped to fish very much, but I finally did. Threw it back up in that backwater right there. Oh, come on, old girl. Let me show. Oh, he done spit it out. They broke my line, but as soon as I swung him in. But, God dang, he ain't never been caught before. That's him right there. I got me a bass. And I'm gonna eat this bass. I'm gonna do a catch, which I just did. Clean, cook, and eat right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm hungry. It's lunchtime. It's 1:05, past lunchtime. And this joker is about to get 8. Like I said, caught him right back in that slough, just where he should have been. What's Wade fishing say? Get the meat. I cleaned her up, got my camp stove going. Got my little fish batter in the old Ziploc bag. Warming a little bit of grease up. I just got a thin film. Just gonna do a little pan fry. I got 4 little pieces of bass. My old Coleman's sticking out a little bit of fish in there. Just like that. Ooh-wee. 2. I'll put all 4 in there. 3. Feel one more. 4. 4 pieces of fish. I got my little stir there. I'm not the best camp cooker, and we're dealing with some flame here. I got the old girl back under control. Turns out that there was something clogged and it spit it out, and that was what was causing all the flame. I don't know what it was, but it'll be all right. We're frying up now. It ain't gonna take long. And if this is your bank property, I sure do appreciate letting me sit here right on the edge of it. I ain't going into it. I'm just right at the river's edge, just so I could eat a little lunch. I'm hungry, and it's 2 o'clock. Whew. She about done. Flame's hitting right now. Cooking like it's supposed to. Little pan fried bass. Come on. I ain't gonna lie. I've already taste tested it because my phone overheated. But here she goes. Some crunchy, flaky, fried up Edisto river bass. Ain't nothing in the world wrong with it. I'm gonna finish up my meal here, and then I'll be back on the river. I ain't made it to the confluence yet, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it before the day's over. So y'all hang with me, the Lord willing. I'll see you here in a bit. Well, I've made it. The old house is still there, got the solar panels on it. We are at the confluence. There's the North Edisto. I'm coming out of the South Edisto. Let me turn you around. So North Edisto is to the right, South Edisto is to the left, where I just come from. They used to have a water wheel over here on this side. Obviously they have a big no trespassing sign. You can guess why. I'm sure that everybody that comes by here wants to stand on the on the property that's between the north and south, but we're going to be respectful and we're just going to record. Anyway, pretty cool in the north Edisto right now. Like I said, they got solar panels and everything because they don't have any power ran here, so completely off the grid. But I've done it. I've made it from the south Edisto to the north Edisto confluence, and now we're in what we call the main Edisto River. Still got a good little while till we get down to Colleton State Park so we can camp. But the good part about being on the main Edisto River is it opens up a good bit. You get a few more sandbar style areas, if you can see that behind me. A few more camping options if that's what you decide to do. So I'm all for it. I have made it to the big Edisto, and it is so nice. I've been running full out, been able to send it. I pulled over here on this bank right here, next to about 20 billion more of those damn wasps. But I just now saw those, so we're going to have to be really careful getting the fuck out of here. Anyways, I'm going to go fish that little lily pad area just in a bit. But I've been sitting over here in the shade, kind of cooling down because I got a little hot. Changed back here in the bushes, put my bathing suit on. I'm about to jump out on this sandbar over here. I'm about to take me a swim, or at least a cool down. Do have to walk through some of these bushes. I was going to pull up on the other side, but it got a little shallow and it motor drags in the dirt, and it just seemed easy to park right there. I just, like I said, didn't see all them damn wasps when I first pulled up. But, whew, it's going to be good to cool down. Got to be a little careful walking out on these sandbars. Take it one step at a time because sometimes they're pluff muddy and you definitely don't want to sink down or drop off a edge. I don't go too deep, especially when I'm just by myself. Damn, I'm fat and white. Anyways, figured I'd give y'all an update. I'm sure y'all are getting a lot of my updates right now because I just got like 3 or 4 bars of service. I ain't had service all day. So you probably gonna get a lot of updates at one time, and then I don't know what service looks like on down. But after I cool down here for a little bit, we'll be right back to it. It's 3:45. I'd like to make it down closer to Colleton State Park by about 5. I might make it, I might not. It'll be all right. It stays daylight till like 9. Probably just wind up camping on a sandbar. Try to find one a little bit better than that. I got me a cool little hammock that I'm gonna probably sleep in, but I'll show you that when I set it up too. Oh, sometimes the best thing to do is to just take it and lay down. Woo! Oh, that's so much better. Golly. Oh, because I ain't going out there deep in that water's hauling ass. Oh, but it feels good to cool down. I guess I could take my hat off and dip my head too. Woo! Lord of mercy. I appreciate y'all following me. I'll be hitting you with another update here soon. Alright, we done made it to a big old bridge right here. Big old bridge. About to go under it. I don't know exactly where zigzag's at in accordance to this bridge. So it's the 78 bridge. I looked it up real quick, and zigzag's still on down a good little ways. That's a big old bridge. Maybe that's what they'll do down there in Aiken County on Davis Bridge or Veterans Road to fix it and keep our boat running. I'm just saying. Anywho, shade feels nice. Swallows under here and everything. I'm gonna finish this particular video up as soon as I get down to zigzag, but I wanted to show you that big old bridge. It's a nice one. Well, I done pulled over to a little slough because it just looked too good not to make a cast on, and I done caught me a little 12-incher right there. And she's going in the cooler because that's probably what I'm gonna wind up eating for dinner. To be honest with you, I kind of hope that I can throw this little rooster tail around and catch me a brim or two to eat. Maybe a rib breast, that'd be nice. But if not, we'll eat some bass. That's cool. I'll be darned, I almost missed it. So zigzag evidently isn't on the main river. It's off the main river in a slough. I just seen a sign for it. I'm gonna turn around. I just turned around so I can show it to you. I'm not going all the way back up in here. But check this out. So you got the ribbon And then you got the little thing that says zigzag. It's that way. So it's a little, like I said, a little slough, and then I think it takes you back to the ramp. Oh, hell with it. I'm not in a hurry. Let's go see what she looks like. I'm gonna cut through here. If I can get back to it. It might be one of those that are kind of difficult to get to. Of course, the water is pretty high. Sneak back up in here and see if we can see how decent the zigzag boat ramp looks like. So it does open up, like I said, into a pretty decent little slough. I don't know how far back in here zigzag is. I guess you got to zig and zag to get to it. Look like some decent fishing in here though. Well, looks like it would be, at least. Good little ways back up in here. I ain't so sure I'm gonna make it to Colleton tonight. I'll be pretty happy probably if I make it to Whetstones. If I can get a little past Whetstones, I'll probably find me a camping area. So that might be my next update, is Whetstones and a camping area. Let's see what we got here. See some more signage. Zigzag with a big orange cone. I don't even know if y'all can see that with the reflections. Interesting. Oh, it's supposed to be taking a left. Is that what that says? Left. Alright. I ain't taking a left through there. I can go around the outside. Maybe I'm supposed to take a left through there. I don't know. I guess I am supposed to take a left through there. Interesting. That's probably why I've never been to Zigzag Landing. So I thought I could go around. Should just watch the sign. Yeah, this is definitely, I see why they named it Zigzag. Another one of them tight fits. This one's not bad. Alright, we're gonna zig, we're gonna zag, and we're gonna find this boat ramp. Just to say we did it. Because why not? Why not? You could easily miss this one if you didn't see that sign. I mean, they did a pretty decent job of putting the sign up. But, I mean, I'd hate to try to find this one in the dark after setting lines all night. Good Lord. It's back here. Might even get out and walk around if ain't nobody here. Need to stretch my legs. Zigzag boat ramp. At least you don't have to worry about any current back here. Look like somebody's fishing. I did pass a couple boats earlier. Might have been them. Sketchy white van. Yep, that's one of them swamp landings. Pretty cool though. Pretty cool. And a good little place to run your boat up on the dirt. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's walk up here. Whew. Like I said, the pull up ain't too bad, and it looks like you got plenty of parking down here. Oh, I needed to stretch my legs anyway. It's been a while since I've been on that sandbar. It was a nice sandbar though. It's nice swimming. So, yeah, you get plenty of parking down here. I don't know how safe this one is, but a big parking lot, nice boat ramp. Ain't tore up or nothing. So HBO guys here fishing. That's what the truck says. But pretty decent. Anyways, I'm gonna get back in the boat. Keep heading down river till I find, like I said, I'm gonna try to pass Whetstones, show you that ramp, and then find me a camping spot, hopefully on a nice sandbar with a couple nice trees I can hang my hammock up between. And y'all pray that it doesn't rain on me tonight. I just passed something that I had to turn around and show y'all. Cause them red wasp is mean. There might be something that's a little bit meaner, and I ain't getting too much closer. So I'm gonna hit you with the zoom right there, and you See if you can see what that joker is. That right there is a terrible camera job. You can see it. That right there is a genuine hornet's nest. And they're in there too. There's some big ones flying in and out of that joker. I ain't gonna mess with it. I'm telling you, you better keep your eyes open if you come down here. I don't even want to go under that thing. I'm keeping my distance. I'm about right here. I'm gonna drift back, and then we're gonna be on our merry way. You see a lot of stuff down here though. Crazy thing about those, they'll make nests in the banks sometimes. I found them in the banks of the river before at boat ramps, and I actually had to put up signs and stuff so that people wouldn't get hurt, because them things will hurt you. They'll come after you and piss them off. We're seeing a lot of everything. I think the only thing I ain't seen this trip, I've seen a bunch of soft-shelled turtles, I've seen snakes, I've seen wasps, I've seen hornets. I hadn't seen an alligator yet. Might see one before the day's over, might see one before the trip's over, who knows. But I figured I'd show you that big old hornet's nest. You don't see them very often, but when you do, you better stay on away from them. I think we've made it to Whetstones. I'm fairly certain that it's like a semi-private ramp. It's right here. Yeah. So that's it behind me. Right there. I do think you have to pay a little fee to put in right there, if I remember correctly. But the bridge is here. So right off of this bridge is on Highway 21, Whetstones Crossroads. I think the next one after this should be Carlton State Park, but it is a ways down. Sun's high enough in the sky. It's 5:51. I could probably make it. Don't know if I will or not. I'm still running on my original tank of gas. 3.5 gallons. That's all that joker holds. And I'm still running on it. That's impressive, Yamaha. Anyways, I'm gonna ride a little bit more and think about it, and I'll come back and tell you what I come up with. You'll get to see it in like the next second. Still thinking here. Hey, this place right here is for sale. Check out Jeff Cook. Anyways, they were nice enough here to tell us how far everything is away. Tree houses are 5 miles. Carlton State Park 10 miles. Givens Ferry State Park 33 miles. Jacksonboro 54. Edisto Beach 83. And obviously Clemson, got to name that one too, 156. So, with it being 10 miles, should I just continue on to it? Because I hadn't seen a good campsite, and I've gone a ways. So I guess I'm going to just keep riding. If I don't see a good campsite, somebody said, I saw a comment on here, somebody said, look for them around 95, which is dang near right there at Carlton State Park anyway. So I'll keep an eye out there. Water is kind of high, and I don't like camping in people's backyards. So just cruising, 625 right now. We'll find a spot eventually, or we'll just camp at the state park, one of the two. I can make it there. So I hadn't officially run out of gas, but you might as well say that I have. It's impressive. I'll say that. Before I get off of this TikTok, I'm going to tell you how far I made it on this 3 to 3.5 gallons or whatever you want to call it. But I'm about to fill it up. And I'm not going to video that because I don't have the dexterity for it. But I just figured I'd tell you that I'm putting gas in my gas tank. Finally, it's 6:30. I got her filled up. Going to continue on down. About a 10-minute pit stop right there. And spilled very little gas, which was a good thing. People get really excited over the Edisto River tree houses, so I figured since I passed them, or was passing them, I would turn around and show it to you. They're kind of cool though. They stayed the night in one of them one time with a group of guys when they came down here, and they kayaked down and stayed the night and then finished the paddle or whatever. That's pretty cool though. I'm probably going to be pretty jealous of it tonight when I'm sleeping on the bank. Just saying. But there she is from the other angle. They even got you a little hammock. I think there's a couple of them. I think there's 3 of them total. At least that's what they used to be. You can kind of see a bridge, like a little walking bridge back in there. And I think there was one around the corner here, but I could be mistaken. Maybe that's just a walking path. I don't know. Like I said, I can give you a few more seconds of... Yeah, there's one right there. Another one. Still pretty cool. I'm not paying $200 or $300 a night to stay in one though. Maybe if I had a group, it'd be worth it. I don't know. Might be saying something different after the night. Like I said, pretty cool. Little grill set up. Won't be where I'm staying though. I'm still looking for a good sandbank. Or I might make it to Colleton. Evidently it's only 5 more miles because the little signage back there said that those were 5 miles away. And Colleton was 10 miles away. If you do the math, about 5 more miles I should be at Colleton State Park. I did pass one good sandbar back there and I almost turned around and parked on it. But I convinced myself not to. So I hope I don't regret that. But I just wanted to get a little bit further down. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, be back in just a second. We'll see where we're at then. We done made it to 95 interstate. Lord of mercy. I've been rolling. I've been letting her eat. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Seen a couple spots, but every time I think it's about perfect, there's a freaking house on it. Right there, around the corner, just up the way. There's a lot of no trespassing signs. I ain't trying to break no laws. I definitely ain't gonna be sleeping underneath that bridge because I won't get no sleep. So I might have to go down at least a couple more bends. But a couple more bends down, it's Colleton State Park. So if I see one absolutely perfect, I'll stop before I get there. Otherwise, we just gonna pull up, see what's available. Okay, so I'm almost to Colleton, a couple bends up. And I think I found me a decent sandbar. It's good and firm. I think I swam here before last summer with Beth and her niece and nephew and her sister. That's right, we had 5 of us out on that boat last year. So I think this is gonna work for me. I'm gonna string my hammock up between some of these trees. And first thing I'm gonna do is tie my boat up to this here tree over yonder, because I ain't trying to have it float off. But I'm a little concerned about the mosquitoes, but I think they're gonna be just as bad at Colleton State Park. So it is what it is. Hopefully I don't get eaten up too bad. But I'm gonna come back with another video after I get everything set up. Got decent service here as well. So appreciate y'all following me so far. Like I said, I'm gonna get all my campsite stuff set up, show you what I do. Well, good morning. This is where I slept. Did another video last night to kind of show off my campsite area, but it's not much to it, and it didn't process, so it wasn't a big deal. But I slept in the hammock, my little 2 pillows. Oh, I slept okay. It took me a little while to get to sleep. Boat made it through the night. I think the water's actually dropped a little bit. Plan today is to make it to Edisto Beach. I'll check the weather one more time. It is supposed to rain, but my aunt lives down at Edisto Beach, and she's got a neighbor that's got a dock, and my goal is to make it to that dock by like 3 o'clock, because I think there might be some weather that rolls in. If I can make it to that dock by 3 o'clock, I think I can avoid that weather, tie my boat up on the dock, let that weather pass through, hang out at the beach for the day. And then tomorrow, I actually have to boat back up here to Colleton State Park so that Beth can pick me up at the boat ramp right there. She says she's not driving all the way to the Beach to pick me up. I think I can pull that off between the rainstorms that might be predicted, because it's like a 30 to 50% chance of rain here and there, a pop-up thunder shower. So we're gonna see what we can do. But appreciate everybody following me. I think I could probably cook me a little breakfast this morning. I did bring some eggs. We got a little farm, so we got chickens. I got some eggs. I'm gonna fire up some eggs real quick. I was feeling a little grungy, so I jumped in, took a little bath in the river real quick before breakfast, because I was feeling a little grungy from yesterday, let's not lie. I'm clean now. Refreshed and restored. We'll take my hammock down. I'm gonna pull out my cooker, cook me a little breakfast. It's 7:07. I gotta be out of here by 8. Breakfast is gonna be 2 eggs from the chickens at the farm. Got my oil ready. I can't do this one-handed, so there they go. I'm gonna throw me some salt and pepper on them. Just a little bit. A little pepper. A little salt. Be flipping them here soon. And there she is. That's gonna be my breakfast. Hopefully I ain't sticking too bad because I got a good bit of oil in there, but I ain't gonna embarrass myself and put this on camera. I promise I can do this much better on the Blackstone. Might need to get a mini one of those to take camping with me or something. Breakfast of champion, roughed up riverbank eggs. It is what it is though, I'm hungry. Well, I got my eggs right there on the napkin. I'm gonna try them. Ain't fine to me. Ain't perfect, but it's something. I say when you're out here roughing it. So I guess those are roughing it eggs. Cranking up. Shoving off. Whew. Got everything done I needed to get done. And of course, my motor's not warmed up yet. I was trying for a dramatic entrance. I'll let it warm up a bit. Take the paddle. Push me off a ways. Because this is a nasty sandbar. Anyways, heading down towards the beach. Hopefully we'll make it there. Hopefully the old motor will warm up. Should be alright. Just tired from running yesterday. A little tired too. There goes the sandbar that we were able to spend the night on. Thank you for your service. And we are off. I'm not gonna be posting as much today. I'm gonna try to do like longer videos because my battery life on my phone is dwindling, and I've got my charger. My charger was at 100% when I started, and my recharger now is at 30%. So I'm gonna have to be a little cautious on my battery life because I'm gonna need a little help from my GPS navigating St. Pierre Creek to get back to the boat dock at my aunt's friend's house. So anyways, I'll show you the important stuff though, and I'm gonna show you Colleton and the bridge when we pass it. I'll post this and then I'll be gone. I'll be letting it eat. So here's Colleton. Well, there she is. That's her, Colleton State Park. You can see the little red marker right there. And then I'm gonna turn you around. Obviously there's the Edisto River Outfitters over here, the ones that do tree houses. There's the boat ramp right yonder. There's the bridge. This will be where hopefully Beth picks me up tomorrow. If I have to get her to pick me up further on down, she'll do it. I mean, she's not gonna leave me stranded. I just don't know how far I can make it back up tomorrow before they get here. So they might have to make me a Givens or something, but there she is. We're under the bridge. Next stop, Edisto Beach. But I will, like I said, give you some updates. Just not gonna be able to do like 12 of them, or if I do them, I'm gonna have to save them and post them after I get some more charge on my phone. So, and then I'll hit you with a lot of updates tomorrow because I should be able to charge my charging block and my phone at my aunt's house, and be able to hit the stuff that I miss on the way down on the way back up. So, y'all pray that the weather holds out for me today. I don't get rained and stormed on because I am in an aluminum Johnboat, and my bilge pump is literally half a Gatorade bottle. So I could do without the H2O. Anyways, I'm heading on, y'all. We're gonna get up, we're gonna let her eat the whole way down. Only gonna stop to take some video and pictures here and there. Wide open, I can let it go wide open. We're gonna make some time today. What old bandits say? Eastbound time, loaded up and trucking. Well, we made it to another bridge. Let's see which one this one is. I'm not really sure, but I'm about to look it up on my phone. We're gonna idle on through it. See what checkpoint we at right quick. So I just hit Stokes Bridge Road. That's what that is. Stokes Bridge Road, and it's 8:32. Whatever good timing that is. But I'm gonna continue on down. Hit you at the next road mark. Just pulled up on Mars Oldfield. That's what they call it. So it's like an intermediary point between Colleton and Givens Ferry. A little bit closer to Givens Ferry than Colleton. But a lot of people put in at the Mars Oldfield to go tubing. So a lot of people will come to Mars Oldfield and with those big old floating tubes, and they'll float from Mars Oldfield down to Givens Ferry State Park and take out right there at the sandbar at Givens Ferry. Me personally, I've seen too much stuff in this river to float it. I saw an alligator late yesterday afternoon. I don't even know if I told y'all that. But if I'm gonna be in it, I'm gonna be in a canoe, a kayak, or a Johnboat. I ain't floating it in an inner tube. And I ain't scared or nothing. Like I said, there's just too many other things that you could have for a vesicle to do your river trip in than a tube. But to each their own. If it was in a big group, it probably would be fun. But you really have to make sure it's a good day. And it takes a while to flow down there. So, I mean, it's a good little distance. But it's 8:56 now, so I'm making pretty good time. My shoulders are definitely sore. I could use a massage. But we're going to keep trucking it on down. I'll bring you up when we get to Gibbons Ferry. So one of the things I did want to show, check out these bluff walls. This is down towards the Gibbons Ferry area. And like I said, you get these big, giant limestone walls. And they're pretty cool. We've caught catfish on them, I ain't gonna lie to you. We've tied up underneath them, especially when it gets real hot. I think we tied up to that tree exactly, me and my grandpa one time. And we've caught channel cats and stuff underneath it. And it's deep right here. Like, I don't have a depth finder. I mean, I have a depth finder, but it's old and the transducers broke off the back because you see me jumping logs all the time. So I don't ever even use a depth finder in this boat, but it is deep. And check that out. Somebody didn't cut a stair. It's a stairway to heaven right there. Anyways, to their house. I got you. But I thought that was pretty cool. These big giant granite walls. So what happens is the river kind of flows down this way to a point, and then it's almost like it hits these granite walls and it rediverts the direction of the river, and then it juts down. So like, if you see the river here, the river's been flowing quite well up to this point, and then here it's like it almost stops. And I feel like that granite, or not granite, but that limestone wall right there is a big part of why it just stops and slows down, because it pushes it to change the direction and it widens out and everything. Because otherwise it's pretty channeled, and like I said, you've seen in some of my other videos, it's like flowing. So anyways, figured I'd show you that. We're almost at Gibbons Ferry, so that's what I'll show you next. Well, I said Colleton, or Gibbons was what I was going to show you, but here's more of them big giant walls right there. So it goes way up there. Like, if you were stranded down here, you couldn't get to that side, there's no way that you could like climb that wall to get up there. Like, it might not look that big. Let me see if I can get alongside of it. But I mean, like, it's up there. So I mean, it's as sheer as can be. So I mean, it's tall. I mean, you don't see mountainous stuff like that down here in the low country. But pretty cool. Anyways, here's Gibbons Ferry. So actually, like, the wall that I was just recording is right here at Gibbons Ferry. There's the sandy bank right there where you can swim. It's a nice sandy bank. If it was later in the day and hotter, I'd probably go out for it. They even got a set of restrooms down there, but my stomach's good right now, so we're gonna keep putting on. Got a couple fellas swimming. And yeah, it's 9:17 and I've made it to Gibbons Ferry. It's a little over an hour, about an hour and 20 minutes run from Colleton State Park to Gibbons Ferry. Show you the bridge. There's the bridge. Be underneath that bridge. That bridge is 61. Highway 61. So, closing in, like I said, on Edisto Beach. Well, this is the boat ramp that's below Gibbons Ferry. I'm not really sure the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm going to use it as an opportunity to stretch my legs. Now, it is like this little gravel ramp here, but it's got a paved ramp that goes down. It's got a really nice dock. Somebody's already here fishing. I think I passed them earlier this morning. They were in a quite larger aluminum boat. A little road that comes down to it. It's a couple miles below Gibbons Ferry. Like I said, I needed an opportunity to stretch a little bit. Oh, pop my back. Whew. Telling you, that tiller handle right there is working the shoulder. But figured I'd show you this ramp while I was here. Getting ready to go under 17 right here. So, just another landmark. Looks like a good little fishing hole right there, though. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna stop. I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm on a time frame today because of the weather. But Highway 17, or alternate 17, I think is actually the name of it. A lot of houses down this way. A few of them for sale. Some of them nice. Some of them river shanty. but making a way, that's for sure. It's 10:09. 10:09. I will say, there's been a couple hairy little places in here. The river split in like 3 places and gets real tight. Comes back together real quick, but I didn't really expect that. So, it's been a long time since I've been down this way. I don't think I've had the boat on this section of water since I kayaked it back in 2008. So, I don't remember it splitting like that, especially as shallow up as it did, but it's a good thing I got a Johnboat because I've hit a few logs, even down this far. But I'll keep rolling on. So because I've been running full out, I just run out of gas. I got more gas, but my little 3.5 gallon tank, it tapped out. So I was able to paddle over here to where the water's not flowing so hard. I'm about to throw me some more gas in the boat. Not really sure how far I've been, mile wise, but still pretty good for be running out full out. So let me fill up real quick. Got her filled back up. That one gas tank's completely empty now. Got to reprime the old girl. There it goes. Now she's grabbing. Oh yeah. I don't really like running it empty like I did, and it wasn't slap empty. There was a little bit in the bottom, but it was starting to cut out on me. And it was a decent section of river to go ahead and fill it up because it was long and straight. There she is. We're back in business. All right. I'll give you a little shot of the river since I'm stalled right here. Whew. It's warming up, that's for sure. It's 10:32. And it's, like I said, it's definitely warming up out here. Boat's lighter now. I dumped some of the water out of the cooler from the ice melting. And with the gas that we burned through and everything, like I said, boat's a little bit lighter than when we started, and you can definitely tell it running on that front end with that gas being gone. It sticks up a little bit more, which is fine. It's a beautiful section of river down here. And it's still very river-esque down here. Like some rivers, when they widen and everything, it's more like a lake than a river to me. But here, I mean, you still got the willow trees on the side, and then you got the cypress trees hanging over, and still skinnies up. And, you know, you can't just full out run it most of the time because you still got limbs in the water and stuff. Just old backwater river style. Anyways, I'll bring you back in a minute with another update. I have got to show you this. I had to turn around just to show it too. I'm just meandering on down the river at a good little clip, and check out what I seen. I was like, what in the heck is hanging from that tree? Looked like something got hung up. Nah, that joker's put there intentionally. Somebody done hung a sloth. Done hung a sloth out the Edisto tree right there. That's pretty cool. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna turn the boat back around now. But yeah, I was like, what in the crap? What in the crap is that? And sure enough, it's even got a little baby sloth hanging on the big sloth. Man, the things you'll see down here on the river. I'm gonna bring you back, I think, when I'm in Jacksonboro. And then I think that's where I'm gonna end the video and start a new one. So hang tight, and I'll be right with you. Well, there she is. We made it to Jacksonboro. That is the road right there that lets me know I'm in Jacksonboro. And you got the train trestle bridge down yonder as well. So Jacksonboro is on 17. And I guess the bridge above that was the 17 alternate or whatever that I had showed you earlier. That's 17 right there, and then like I said, you got the train trestle on down here. So we have made it to Jacksonboro. Got to pass through Jacksonboro to go to Edisto. But like I said, I'm gonna end the video here, and I'll bring you back with an update. I think I'm gonna stop at Wheeltown Bluff before I get to Edisto. I think I might have to fill up my gas there again, and I might eat some lunch there. Might cook up that last bass. Just depends on the weather and what I'm feeling like. Last time I was at Wheeltown Bluff, it was really hot, and it's really hot today, and there were a lot of no-see-ums. Ain't nobody got time for that. So, but wanted to show you Jacksonboro. Making it through there. It's 11:06. Making a really great time. Not supposed to be in Edisto till like 2 or 3 o'clock, so I'm ahead of schedule for sure, which is a good thing. It's better to be ahead than behind. So, riding it pretty good down here below Jackson, heading towards the beach. One thing you can notice is it definitely changes to a coastal plain down here. So like the trees pretty much gone. You got some scattered along the edge, but it's like I said, it's more coastal down here, obviously, because I'm right here close to the beach. But just a whole change in terrain. Beautiful though. Like I said, you got different kinds of trees. You got some cypress trees. You got some willows around and some shrubs. Got the Spanish moss on some of the trees. It's pretty down here though. I love it. Like I said, definitely more coastal. You can smell a little bit of the salt in the air now. Oh, it's a good day. Starting to see more coastal style docks. You can tell they build their docks like that because the tide starts affecting it around this area. So, tide should be going out now. I think it's low tide at like noon or a little after today at Edisto Beach. So, tide's on the way out, I would assume. But I'm just having a blast running the old boat down here. Getting closer and closer to the beach by the minute. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is Wheeltown Bluff. So we're gonna pull over here for a minute, stretch the old legs. Ain't much to it, to be honest with you. We camped here. When me and Daddy come down here in 2008 and kayak down, we camped here. This was our last night of camping, and then we paddled the rest of it the next day. But and then the kind people in those houses up there, when we camped here, they allowed us to get some water because we was low on water. And I swear, I think the water they gave us was out of one of them old buildings, and it hadn't been running a while, and it gave me an upset stomach. That's beside the point. Made it to Wheeltown Bluff. Ah, that sounds nice on the old girl. I'm gonna get out here and stretch my legs. Like I said, there ain't much to this ramp. Oh, but it's a good final stop before you hit the beach. So, when we were here, I think we camped right there on that grassy knoll. Oh, but definitely tell the tide's going out. Got one more stop. I'm not going to eat lunch here. I think I can get to Edisto in time to eat lunch at Whaley's. That's my goal. So, just figured I'd give you the Wheeltown Bluff update. We're going to make it to Edisto, baby. Just got to watch out for them sandbars right there when you're rolling down here. They pop up out of nowhere. Got to be careful. I done avoided a few of them. You can kind of see how the water ripples around them. Like there's one over yonder too. If you can see it. That's the last thing I want is to get stuck on a sandbar for a couple hours. You know the thing I just said about sandbars? Well, I'm on one right now. Luckily it's the Johnboat, so we're floating, but the engine was dragging, so I had to prop it up. I gotta push off of here real quick before it gets any lower. Fish is jumping though. But yeah, sandbars. What a pain. Yep. I almost made it over it too. Like we were skedaddling on top of it there for a bit. I was like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. And then I didn't make it. But it's all right. Like I said, good thing about the Johnboat, she floats pretty high in the water column. So that's why you always have a paddle, whether the DNR requires it or not. You always have a paddle on the boat. And I got the trolling motor on this boat too if I absolutely needed it. But I'd rather not get all the salt in my trolling motor. Oh, that's always fun. I've had a paddle get me out of a bind in many situations. Basically pushing myself along the bottom. Push pole works really well too, but I don't really like carrying a big long push pole everywhere I go. Especially if I'm not planning to really be up shallow. Almost out. I think we're about deep enough. Not quite. I don't want to overheat my motor by clogging it up with this mud either. So I'd rather do a little extra work. I should have went around on the other side of the island. But all kinds of fish jumping. Man, I'm tempted. You reckon they'd hit my freshwater lure? I probably don't want to catch one either. Anyway, the little rods I got are meant for little backwater rivers. They ain't really meant for the salt, as they say. It's tempting. I bet you I can catch a redfish on it. I wonder if I'm gonna hit the bottom and drop it. Nope, good. Put it back in. Yep. And we're still peeing with the motor. Sweet. I made it out. Still dragging the bottom a little bit, so we're just gonna putter slow. You can see that mud kicking up in the background. Ah, dang. Gotta be careful down here in the coast. Running them tight rivers, you got logs to worry about. Running down here, sandbanks and mud flats. It's always something. Never think you're home free. The river will throw it at you when you least expect it and you think you're good. I'm clear right now. I'll get up on plane and I'll bring you back when we're closer to the beach. There it is! All I gotta do is stay straight and I will be there. That's Edisto on the horizon, my friends. I'm gonna say I've made it. I'm getting ready to turn into Big Bay Creek, or whatever you call it, and go up towards Live Oak Landing. But check it out. That's the beach right there. You can see the people with the tents and everything. I gotta kind of go out and around because there's a little sandbar over here on my left and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of all these people. We're gonna go out towards that buoy marker and then we're gonna cut in. We made it. Edisto Island. Man, am I happy about it too. My battery's running a little low on the phone. You can see that wave cresting right there too. It means I need to go out a little bit further. My battery's a little low on the phone, so I ain't gonna video the whole ride in, but I'm gonna give you some highlights. Out yonder is the ocean, and I don't want none of that, and I'll be honest with you. Like I said, here's the point at Big Bay Creek. There's the beach. I'm gonna go back here and try to find this dock that I'm supposed to be able to park my boat on. I'm gonna take y'all with me. But I made it, 130 something miles, all the way down here at Edisto Beach. The worst part of Big Bay Creek is you have to idle the whole thing, which takes a little while, and it's hot. So like I said, the beach is right behind me. I done made it. In front of me are all these deep water lots. So I'm gonna push my way back here, hang a left, show you Live Oak Landing, and then I'll show you where I'm parking my boat for the day. It's 12:54, so I made it to Edisto by 1 o'clock. It'll still probably take me until about 1:30 to get to the dock. We got Live Oak Landing, ladies and gentlemen, managed by the Edisto Beach State Park. I can tell you what, after idling through that darn no wake at Big Bay, it was hot, and I'm hot. That's Live Oak right there. Now I gotta go to the back of this creek and then jump in, I think, St. Pierre or something like that, and then jump back into Wakalolakaball or something like that, and then I should be at that particular guy's dock. So that's the plan. Gonna idle through here, get to the back, hold my GPS up, and do the best I can to find Wakalolakaball Creek. Just saying. We'll get there. So the little creek that my aunt's buddy's dock is pretty shallow on low tide. So just easing back here real slow and nice. So I got as far as I could, and then I had to wait for the tide to change a bit. I'm having to paddle the last little bit of it. This creek's pretty tight. He told me I couldn't get in here on low tide. That's why I didn't want to get here at noon, but I figured if I got here around 2, it'd start to be coming up, which isn't wrong. It's 2:07, so, and the water's flowing me back here. I'm standing towards the front to equally distribute the weight of the boat out so I can get back to this little dock. But I'll get there. I'll get there. It's almost probably a good thing that it's a low water creek too. That way I don't have to worry about my boat so much being tied up back here. I just have to be sure to leave at the correct time tomorrow. Ideally kind of towards high tide and not low tide so I can actually run out of here. But there are fish jumping absolutely everywhere back here. I mean, just everywhere. And I ain't even gonna lie, I've made a few casts at them. But they don't seem to want my rooster tails, my bangle lures, my spinner baits or anything. But since I'm paddling, I figured I might as well make a cast or two. His dock is like right there, I think. I think that's the top of it. Almost there. I made it. I have made it. Just barely too. Because like, just gonna be able to get to the edge of the dock. But I'm glad I'm here. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Could use a cerveza. Appreciate y'all following me. I might hit you with an update if I get to go to Whaley's or something and eat. But other than that, I'm tying this boat up, finding my auntie, getting my stuff to her house, and drinking me something and taking a rest. Y'all take care, Lord willing. I'll see you next time. Bonus footage. This is the creek I'm on. There's my boat. That's what I just come through. Oh, what a trip. Tomorrow, I'll be heading out, heading back up towards Colleton State Park so Beth can pick me up. But I really am blessed. Thank y'all. Truly appreciate y'all, and thanks for following me. So instead of boating up the river today, I got my auntie to drive me back to my truck. Because the DNR agent called me last night and asked me if I was alive, because I'd had people called in worried about me because they saw my truck down here and they'd seen some of the videos and didn't watch all of them. When I get to my truck, I got a little message here. I don't know what it says. It evidently got rained on. I got a message from Mitch. I'll have to read it to you later because it got rained on, but I'll see if I can make it through and see what Mitch had to say. That's kind of cool. I'm just glad I still got all the windows in my truck. I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna drive back to Edisto and I'm gonna take my boat out. So appreciate y'all following me. I'm gonna go take the boat out. About an hour and a half drive on down to Edisto, and I'll see you then. Back on the boat, trying to get it back to the ramp. I had to let the tide come up enough to get out of that little creek that I was in. Parked on the boat ramp. It's about 3:54 right now, and we're sneaking on out of here. I gotta keep it kind of moving a little bit so we don't drag bottom. We're gonna make it. It's a little windy today, but I got my truck parked at the boat ramp. I ate me a little leftovers from Whaley's for lunch, and like I said, should have gone right instead of left. There it goes. Anyways, or left instead of right. Just gotta keep it plowing. Keep it plowing. We'll get out of here. But making on around the Big Bay Creek, gonna take out a live oak. I'll show you where I take out and everything, and then we'll call it a trip. And I'll be driving back to old Williston, or you know it. I appreciate all the likes and follows I've got, and everybody's following my trip. Trust me, we're gonna have some more trips coming up. They might be shorter, some of them might be longer, some of them might be legendary. Might even have to bring a friend or two. But I'm gonna skedaddle on out of here. Hopefully don't mess nothing up. Don't hit no oyster beds, and we'll be at the boat ramp here shortly. Check out the pretty houses and docks behind me right there. Nice little area of Fishing Creek as I work my way back towards Big Bay Creek. I will say too, because I haven't posted it on here on TikTok, I was able to make it to Whaley's and get me some fresh seafood. Me and my Aunt Sherry split the big Siemens, or whatever you call it, platter, and a captain's platter. So we had crab cake, and then we had shrimp, oysters, and flounder, and some hot chips. And it was delicious. Let me show you a picture real quick. So that was us at the Whaley's. We got served by the famous bartender Anna, that's also from my hometown of Williston. She used to be the Blue Devil mascot, I'm just saying. It was delicious. I might have drank me a couple of those Yangerlings, but it was a good time. Even ran into some people from where we lived and stuff. So had a good time eating a little dinner, a little bit of seafood, filling up. It was a lot better than that bass I cooked on the bank, I can tell you that. There it is, Live Oak. Then you got the Edisto Beach State Park Environmental Learning Center little boat dock right there. But Live Oak, about to be taken out, be the official end of my trip. I'll be heading back to Williston. Like some people at the ramp, I ain't gonna disturb them, but I will show you myself getting out of here in the truck. It's been a fun one, a real fun one. Let's see how bad I can embarrass myself trying to load this boat on the trailer. Hopefully it'll go smooth, and this will be a good ending to the video. Either that or I'm gonna miss it and embarrass myself in front of thousands of people. Let's hope we make it. Gotta aim a little bit to the right to account for the current. I mean, I'd say that was pretty decent. Good enough for me. And that's it. I'm gonna just throw all this stuff in the back of the old truck. Get the rest of the stuff that I'd already taken out from my Aunt Sherry's house, load it in the truck. I'm heading back to Williston. So it's been a good trip. Appreciate y'all watching me. Plan on doing some more here soon. But y'all take care, and Lord willing, we'll get to see you next time.